Hi guys, I'm back with my weekly recap of Mission Yozakura Family. This week we're covering episode 7. Also, this video contains spoilers, so do not watch if you do not want any spoilers. This episode starts out with Nano calling Taiyo on his phone, which we can see in a video chat while he is training. Nano explains to Taiyo that he is on a mission to recover a germ bomb, and he asks Taiyo if he can come pick him up because he's going to swallow the bomb and neutralize it with his body. Nano then proceeds to swallow the pill while he's on this video call with Taiyo, and he starts to get loopy and then falls asleep, which freaks Taiyo out and makes him spring into action. So Taiyo heads off over to the lab where Nano was undercover, where they were creating this germ bomb, and when he arrives he notices that all of the security is disabled and there are no guards around, and he finds this very suspicious. After taking a look around, Taiyo hears somebody behind him and he thinks he's about to get attacked, but he's surprised to see that they attack the guards instead. The two people introduce themselves. They are professional spies sanctioned by the government, and their names are Oga Inugami and Sweet Aoi. Taiyo is still a little suspicious of them at this point, but it seems like they have the same goal and objective, so he ends up going along with them. They fight a few guards along the way, and these guys are clearly very capable and very talented spies. Inugami also seems to be a fan of Taiyo's, so it's a little funny, his little comments. Next they find a room, and this is the room that ends up being where Nano is, and Taiyo immediately rushes over to him to try and help him, but suddenly Inugami attacks Taiyo out of nowhere, and this surprises him. Then Aoi explains to him that their mission is to get rid of this biological agent, and he's in their way. Taiyo, knowing that this means that they're going to attack Nano, tries to protect him, but he's suddenly attacked by Aoi and he's slashed up pretty bad. Taiyo is now unable to fight, and it seems like they're going to kill Nano, but suddenly Nano wakes up and he says that the biological agent has been neutralized by his body, and his proof is a patch test that he did on himself, which he then gives to Aoi. Aoi finds that this is good enough proof and their mission is now accomplished, so he backs down and provides Nano with a slash ointment to heal Taiyo with. With that, the two government spies leave the scene and Nano rushes over to heal Taiyo. In the next scene, we find Taiyo hung up over some candles by Kyoichiro. The reason for this is because Taiyo brought shame to the Yozakura family because he suffered defeat at the hands of the government spies. Kyoichiro explains that this caused a bombing of negative reviews for the Yozakura family. Mutsumi and Nano bust in and try to stop Kyoichiro, but then they release the gag on Taiyo, and he explains that he does feel remorse for bringing shame to the Yozakura family and he wants to atone for this. After inflicting a little more pain on Taiyo, Kyoichiro tells him that he can atone for this screw up by defeating Sweet Aoi. Thus begins Taiyo's next goal. He goes on the train and meets up with Aoi, who tells him he can follow him, but he's not gonna go easy on him and he doesn't expect that he'll ever be able to defeat him. At this point, Taiyo is remembering that Kyoichiro explained to him that the government spies have a secret technique that allows them to move quickly and silently, so they're very hard to keep up with. Taiyo does a good job of following Aoi out of the train, and he even manages to catch up to him, but Aoi uses a clothes slashing technique on Taiyo, and he is now naked in the middle of a train station where the cops come over to him to apprehend him. This doesn't deter Taiyo, and he begins a days-long journey of following these two government spies around, but each and every day he is defeated at some point. Each day that Taiyo follows these two around, he does end up lasting for more of the day, so that is progress for this situation. Inugami even commends Taiyo on the 7th day for being able to last until the evening time. This makes Aoi mad, and he slashes off both of their clothes this time. After suffering from defeat so many times, we find Taiyo back at home, but Kyoichiro is using him as a chopping board. Nano protects Taiyo and punches Kyoichiro away. Then they have a little heart-to-heart conversation where Taiyo feels like a disappointment, but Nano tells him that he's actually a really cool big brother and he's happy to have him. During this conversation, Taiyo appears to have a realization, so he sets off to face Aoi on the 10th day. This time, when Taiyo faces Aoi's attack, he is able to stop it, grabbing his arm and preventing him from slashing him. The realization that Taiyo had was that Aoi's attack always starts from the center of the body, so he knew exactly where to grab when the attack started, even if he couldn't fully see what was happening. After this, Inugami pops up in a gravestone disguise, and he's pretty excited for Taiyo, but he's also upset at Aoi for hurting him, so he administers first aid to Taiyo, and during this, Aoi admits that Taiyo is a worthy opponent. Now Taiyo's goal has been achieved, and he returns home to find a Spy magazine article about him loving being naked. And that is where this episode ends. There is a little end scene titled the Kuroyuri Party, so I'm curious to see what that will be about next week. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for next week's recap. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more anime content. Until next time, bye bye!